Wood County. Let's go back to it. There it is, Greenwood. Yep, a part of that line is accelerated past it. I'll back it up here. There it is. Yep, just flared up right there. See where the green and the red meet? This is leaving Abbeville County. Got a brand new tornado warning. This goes until 7 p.m. here for Greenwood and Abbeville counties. That rotation right along the county line, just south and east of due west, heading toward uptown Greenwood. Please get to your safe place in uptown Greenwood. There is some strong rotation in this area. It's a radar indicated tornado at this point. Need to watch it very closely as this area is beginning to rotate. We'll zoom in here to street level, give you an idea of when it's going to be moving toward Greenwood. Putting a storm track on it right in here for Greenwood, points eastbound the lake. Get to an interior part of your home. There is an active tornado warning in this area. Watching it closely. Again, the tornado warning 7 miles southwest of Greenwood, moving toward that area. We'll have to take this out of play mode, I believe there, Griffin, as it's in Greenwood, points eastbound. There it is. And storm track here, we'll put it in Greenwood basically at 6:33. Promised Land any minute now. Harris Springs at 6:44 and then 96 at about 6:54. That rotation pretty stout right here along the county line. As we'll zoom in here, Abbeville, Greenwood County line, watching it very closely here, coming down 25. You're in the path of that storm as this rotation sits right in there just east of Miller's Mill, heading toward Blakedale, heading just north or right over uptown Greenwood. Seek shelter right now in Greenwood County. This cell is coming toward you right now. Coronacre, Cokesbury, southern parts of Waterloo, you're in the path of this storm as well. Let's do a closer in storm track because there's Abbeville County, there's Greenwood County. It's literally about to cross the county line as depicted by Doppler radar. So Dalewood, Blakedale, Cokesbury, putting a fresh track on this as it moves toward your neck of the woods. We're going to be seeing this near Calvary Church if you're familiar with that area at 6:24. Any minute now. Greenwood County Airport at 6:29 and then Holly Spring Church at 6:32, moving very quickly off toward the east. So heads up Cokesbury, Blakedale. This is Highway 72. There's 25 and 178 coming down from Greenville. You need to seek shelter right now because this is a potent storm rolling through. A brand new scan of live Super Doppler 4 giving us minute by minute data, instant data to give us the ability to pinpoint this for you street by street and town by town. Yep, this tornado warning will continue right here as we're watching it. New update here just came in on my Apple Watch. Greenwood, Coronacre, Matthews Heights in the path of this. In addition to this, we've got 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail reported out of this activity as it rolls on through. So Greenwood, Coronacre, Matthews Heights, all in the path of this tornado warning. Right now it's radar indicated, watching it very closely for these areas as we do have a tornado warning. That means that conditions are likely for a tornado. There's at the very least, if it was perfect conditions and you could see this cell, it would be rain wrapped right now so you could not see it. But you'd likely see a funnel cloud very close to the ground. Now whether that's touching the ground probably is very possible at times, but that rotation now sitting over the county line and it's moving east right in here. Did just cross the county line. There it sits. The wind in the red going away from the radar, the green going toward the radar right there. So we're still getting that rotation right along the Greenwood Abbeville County line. Greenwood County points northbound. We're watching it closely for you. Coronacre, Waterloo, Cross Hill, all areas that could see that very soon. Let's see if we can pull up the Lawrence Skycam because that does point up toward the south here. We may need to have the crew upstairs. There, Griffin's got it here for us. Heavy rainfall looking south. Lawrence, you are not in the warning right now, but
The National Weather Service in Greenville-Spartanburg has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Lawrence County in upstate South Carolina, east central Abbeville County in upstate South Carolina, south central Union County in upstate South Carolina, Greenwood County in upstate South Carolina, until 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 6:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles southwest of Greenwood, moving east at 65 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Greenwood, 96 and 96 Historic Site around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lake Greenwood State Park, Greenwood State Park and Cross Hill around 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other locations impacted by this dangerous thunderstorm include Coronacca, Bradley, Mountsville, Promised Land and Dyson. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Please report damaging winds, hail, or flooding to the National Weather Service by calling toll-free 1-800-267-8101 or by posting on our Facebook page or tweet it using hashtag NWSGSP. Your message should describe the event and the specific location where it occurred.
It was a bit of a different story as that rotation was pretty strong, and we've seen it flare up, go back down, and that's common in situations like this, which is why this warning does go until 7 o'clock right here, because there is the potential that this area does begin to fluctuate back up and give us the possibility of another touchdown. So do not let your guard down, although what I'm seeing in Greenwood, the worst of it was over Abbeville County line. As we look at that velocity where the wind speeds are right now, we're still very concerned about it. This part of the cell is very strong winds, has winds going 40, 50, 60 miles per hour at times heading toward uptown Greenwood. You're probably hearing the pitter patter of some rain, that rain going sideways in between some thunder and lightning. But you want to stay in your safe place right there. We've got that rotation and parts of this line, different parts of this line could begin to rotate. We've got a couple of areas here to watch as other areas of the line slow up. Griffin highlighting here 2 areas that could in fact be rotating. One leaving Cokesbury through Coronacca. There's Cross Hill, about to cross over the Lawrence County line where the river and the lake are, and then back toward the south here over Promised Land just south of Greenwood. So all areas in this need to be seeking shelter right now. This is a dangerous situation. You need to be in your safe place away from windows. That's the key here, on a bottom floor of your home, away from those windows in case there is flying debris. You can be in your safe place right there. Watching this closely here, Griffin highlighting here just south of Greenwood, watching it for you in your select. Matthews Heights, there's 225. There's South Greenwood. This area has strong winds and the possibility of some rotation right in here. Live Super Doppler 4 giving us that look very, very closely in here as we're watching this roll on through the area. The green here indicates wind going toward the radar, the red going away. So watching this as it rolls through right in here. Again, a dangerous situation here where we could have this leading edge of the line giving us a possible tornado in Greenwood County. A couple areas where it honestly could be, so that's why there's kind of a wide tornado warning. Unlike that one in Lawrence County earlier, it was a very skinny warning. This is a pretty broad warning that includes Stony Point, Coronacca. You need to be in your safe place. There's some potential rotation. Again, where the red and the green meet, there's potential rotation in here. South of Waterloo, down 221, right along 246 right now there in Coronacca, Greenwood County. You need to be in your safe place away from those windows and doors. Let's put a storm track on this because it is moving very quickly off toward the east as we watch this activity. There's uptown Greenwood, there's Coronacca as this rolls off toward the east, heads up around the lake, is coming towards you very quickly. You're under this tornado warning until 7, and rightfully so, because at the current speed it would be in Greenwood at 628, Lake Shores at 637, Cross Hill by 648, and then leaving Greenwood County around White Plains Crossroad at about 656. So yeah, warranted that this goes until 7 o'clock because within the next 30 minutes this is going to cross through Greenwood, Coronacca, 96 up through Cross Hill and then enter Lawrence County, which is what we're watching very closely for you folks right now. This does include Lawrence County south of Clinton. You're back under a tornado warning right here. You had a warning earlier. This is from a separate storm, and it's from this leading edge of the line right here. As it rolls on through, there are parts of this line that are extending out, that are accelerating and becoming a dangerous part of the storm here, and that wind accelerating out, and that gives that spin up. These are oftentimes quick touchdowns. They lift back up, but we're vulnerable to them touching back down. And that's the concern in these type situations, is that leading edge can sometimes touch back down and give us some strong winds. If you have seen damage, if you can safely do so, please report it back to us. You can call our TV station. You can also send it to us on Facebook if you're watching right now. Report it in the comments. Send us a message on Facebook. If you can safely do so, we'd love to hear your storm reports here as this is rocking and rolling right now across Greenwood. At the very least, you're hearing the pitter-patter of just some torrential rain. And in that leading edge of that rain, possibly a tornado, as we've got this rain-wrapped concern right now as live Super Doppler 4 scans the area right here near uptown Greenwood and surrounding areas. There's a couple of areas here that have the green and the red meeting. The wind going toward the radar here, the red going away from the radar. We've got this potential of uptown Greenwood, just very, very strong winds right here. And we're able to watch this from both our Doppler radar, and it's kind of sandwiched in between the Columbia radar. So we're able to kind of see all sides of this storm to kind of pinpoint where the threats are. And this leading edge continues to show me signs of rotation, signs of potential quick touchdowns of some tornadoes.
Up to 45 miles per hour.
Wow. Yeah, Greenwood Airport, Griffin, right just saying, yeah, 45 miles per hour. Wow. Yeah, certainly. So, is it 45? 45. Okay, 45 miles per hour there, Greenwood County Airport. Wow. Yeah, some damaging winds certainly possible in this area, and the potential that it does touch down a tornado in this area. This warning goes until 7 o'clock for Cross Hill 96. And this is not the only area we're watching. This leading edge extends all the way up through Spartanburg, Union, Cherokee County. That whole leading edge of this line, a little squirrely, so to speak. You see how it's kind of snaking in and out. Looks like my 5-year-old tried to kind of draw a little bit in the lines right here. And it's that leading edge that can sometimes be concerning. And in fact, this tornado warning goes all the way up through Whitmire right here from this leading edge. As we've got a couple of areas here that are showing the possibility of some rotation. So from Union County to Lawrence County, a sliver of Joanna, and then basically all of Greenwood County. Once we're done with this, the severe threats are over. I mean, this line would cross through, we'd be out of the leading edge, and we've just got rain and some rumbles of thunder. You're stable in Greenville watching right now, in Anderson. Lots of lightning and some heavy rainfall. However, it's over for you. Severe weather, not a concern. It's this sliver of Greenwood, Lawrence, in Union County that has to get through this leading edge of the line before you're all clear from severe weather. And from Union County down toward Greenwood, there are signs of rotation in this line, which is why we're watching it ever so closely on live Super Doppler 4. Our working radar giving us instant looks at where this is happening and where we've got that rotation showing up. A priceless tool to give you that instant data. We can street level by street level give you without delay an idea of where this rotation is setting up. And there, Greenwood, you've got heavy rain and wind, but the worst of it now appears to be just east of you. Little kinks here, little rotations. Anytime you see the red and the green meeting, that could spell some trouble along 178 right here. So 96 Cross Hill, get to your safe place, get away from a window. There's Matthews Heights, there's 178. So right there near 96, Irvine's Landing. This is getting very close to the lake at this point. You want to get to your safe place. That wind's about to pick up, and it could rotate and become a tornado in some areas. So putting a fresh track on it here for you for 96, Edgewood Middle School, Godsey, and then Dyson, all within the next 15 minutes. This is moving very quickly. You'll want to get to your safe place in these areas as it rapidly moves off toward the east. But on up the line here in Lawrence County, we've got the tornado warning that extends into Lawrence County, and that includes Cross Hill. Joanna, on the other side of the lake, there are little areas here that are also trying to rotate. Just about anywhere in here, indicated by the National Weather Service, is highlighted by this tornado warning, could have some rotation with it. So Clinton southbound. This even goes into southern Union County, where there's the potential of some of that beginning to rotate there as well. So we need to watch that very closely in those areas like Clinton, Whitmire, extreme southern parts of Union County. That leading edge is still very volatile in this area and could present the damage or the danger of some damaging winds or some rotation. So getting reports here of hail out of this as well. Lots of lightning. The power is out in Spartanburg County behind this line. So we know it's a fierce line. We know it's a dangerous storm. Just give it 30, 45 minutes. Let it get on out of our area, and things will look a lot better.
Looks like that gust got upgraded to 65 knots. So it's more like 70-mile-per-hour winds.
A 70-mile-per-hour wind. Yeah, that could cause some damage, certainly there in Greenwood. Uptown Greenwood, yeah, Griffin, that's a strong wind. 65 knots, that's
65 knots. Yeah, so 70-plus miles per hour. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, so it doesn't even matter if it's a tornado or not. The fact that it's that you have it in a straight line or if it's rotating, that's certainly enough to cause damage. So this this is definitely a storm you want to take seriously for Greenwood, Lawrence counties.
And up and down that line right here, we've got that possibility because that leading edge tapping into some areas that are kind of untapped, so to speak. There's been some storms in and around you. Look at that lightning popping up on live Super Doppler 4. But yeah, 70+ mile/per-hour wind. That likely did some damage there in Greenwood. So if you've had damage, please, if you can safely do so, report it back to us here at WYFF4. Either message us on Facebook, call the newsroom right now. We'll let you know as soon as we hear more. But Greenwood County certainly getting some reports of some very strong winds. And here we go, 75 mile/per-hour wind gust reported in Coronacum. That would be in Greenwood County there. So yes, 75 mile/per-hour wind. So again, some of that could be in the form of a tornado. Yes, certainly possible, but it doesn't really matter what way the wind comes to you and whether it's a straight line wind or a tornado. Damage is damage when it comes to wind, and this is a dangerous storm in Greenwood County. It is almost out of the county, almost out of Lawrence County, but we're still under that tornado warning as we're watching the leading edge of this storm here. There's Union, there's Whitmire, so the extreme southern parts of Union County, stretching down into the extreme eastern parts of Lawrence County, and then much of Greenwood County still included in this tornado warning, because anywhere within this leading edge of the line, as it exits our area very quickly, still presenting the chance that it could be rotating. And that spot right there appears to be our most dangerous spot, as that part of the line is kind of kicking out and gave us a 75 mile/per-hour wind speed there. Wow. And that's heading toward the lake, and sometimes the lake right there, the lack of friction, you don't have have land or trees right there on the lake, that can sometimes accelerate the wind speed. So I need you to be in your safe place anywhere around Lake Greenwood right now in Lawrence, Greenwood County. Watching that very, very closely here, as we've had gusts reported in Coronacum up to 75 miles/per-hour. So from Greenwood Airport to Coronacum, 70 to 75 mile/per-hour wind gusts reported. Now, whether that's from a tornado or straight line winds, we'll have to look and see. But still, those winds, Doppler estimated to be over 40 miles/per-hour right there. Dangerous storm nonetheless, approaching the eastern parts of Greenwood County, the southern tail end of Lawrence County right there, and lots of lightning. You would not be able to see this tornado. It's not a typical situation there. It's rain wrapped. It's nighttime. Stay put, Greenwood County. Stay put, Lawrence County, Union County. Get to your safe place, an interior part of your home, away from doors and windows. If you're at the top part of your home, a second level, go downstairs. Turn the TV up loud. I know the kids might be a little bit antsy with the situation like this. Bring some coloring sheets. Give them something to do. Just kind of make it cozy for them for, say 30 more minutes. This is going to be out of here quickly. That's the good thing about this line, is it is moving fast. It'll be out of here, and that threat will come down considerably. But I am looking at some rough weather here across Greenwood.
The National Weather Service in Greenville-Spartanburg has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Lawrence County in upstate South Carolina, southwestern Chester County in upstate South Carolina, southern Union County in upstate South Carolina, Greenwood County in upstate South Carolina, until 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, severe east of Lawrence to 10 miles south of Greenwood, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour in gusts and nickel-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Power lines. Locations impacted include Greenwood, Chester, Clement, 96, Joanna, Cross Hill, Carlisle, Troy, Chester State Park, and Lake Greenwood State Park. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for upstate South Carolina. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Please report damaging winds, hail, or flooding to the National Weather Service by calling toll-free 1-800-267-8101 or by posting on our Facebook page or tweet it using hashtag NWSGSP. Your message should describe the event and the specific location where it occurred. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the following counties in South Carolina: Chester, Greenwood, Lawrence, and Union.
Before looking down from I-85, there's our radar right there. You can see the scan coming by right here, giving us minute by minute data, no delay right here. So we're watching that come on through, and there it is. Really, really rough weather here across Greenwood County. And as we look at the lake right there, it's that leading edge that's caused some problems back toward the west. And as that line accelerates or punches out ahead of the other parts of the line, boy, it caused some really high winds of the likes we haven't seen today in our area. Just very, very strong winds. 70+ miles per hour, likely causing some downed trees in and around Greenwood. If you have had some damage, and you can safely do so, please report it back to us. I'm wearing an earpiece now. I've got an Apple Watch on. Our newsroom keeps me posted through those methods, and we are getting some reports of some power outages in those areas, certainly, and lots of lightning associated with this as well, as this is some very strong winds. As we look at the velocity, this has shown signs of right along the leading edge of this, giving us the potential of some rotation. But right now, it just looks like very strong winds heading toward the lake right here. 96 through Cross Hill up through Joanna. Basically, the extreme eastern parts of each of these counties seeing this activity. That would be Union County. I think you're out of that. So the Union County line south through Lawrence County. Still in that warning, but Union County, you've been shaved off. It's now a severe thunderstorm warning for you, but the active tornado warning located over Greenwood and Lawrence County, a very small sliver of Lawrence County, and that's because of this line that's moving through, presenting a couple of different Boeing segments here. There's one right there. You can see where that line is trying to accelerate past the other part of the line, and as that happens, Chapels over toward Newberry County, you get these lines that come through and try to scoop in like that, and Griffin's drawing it on here. Boy, that just reflects to us that could be some very strong winds that could get out of hand. And again, National Weather Service here indicating to us a possible tornado located 13 miles west of Newberry at this point, 6 miles east of Lake Greenwood State Park, and it's moving east at a rapid pace, 65 miles per hour is how fast the storm is moving. New drawn here with the tornado warning. It's been trimmed back, so uptown Greenwood, you can come out of your safe place. I know that's just as important for you as getting to your safe place, because the kiddos don't want to be in an interior closet. You do not want to as well. You probably crank the TV volume up. You can come out of your safe place in Greenwood, Princeton, downtown Lawrence, but I want you to stay there if you're along the lake in Greenwood County, because these winds that I'm seeing over the northern part of the lake, they are oh so potent right now, and have at times from Coronacre back through Greenwood been over 70 miles per hour, and that's right over the lake right now, about to cross into Mudlick, Chapels, Highway 39, and it's moving right through Dyson and 96. So you are currently under a tornado warning in these areas of Greenwood and Lawrence County. You want to get to shelter. You want to get to the most interior part of your home, away from those windows. This line is pushing through rapidly. The line itself is moving 65 miles per hour, and in this line, this part of it's trying to accelerate past it. So you get this brief spin up, and that can give you a quick touchdown of a tornado. These are quick touchdowns, whether it's from the wind or some rotation. We've got the concern here across this area right in here near Cross Hill, east of 96, and honestly, it's entering Newberry County very, very quickly. Within minutes, it'll be in Newberry County, how fast this is moving. Also up toward Clinton and Joanna, this part of the cell moving down I-26. Down the highway right here from 72, you've got very strong winds associated with this, and this is why as Live Super Doppler 4 scans again, we're getting another fresh look at this data, and the wind speeds just oh so strong right now in Joanna, 40, 50 miles per hour, and this is accelerating toward the east very quickly with heavy, heavy rainfall. Down toward Chapels, Greenwood County, Kirksey, northbound, this is racing off toward the east. Just give it a few more minutes, folks. You'll be in a much better situation here. Joanna, we had some reports of some pea-sized hail. So in this, not only you get the heavy rain, you get the lightning, but there's also some hail with it. But this is moving 65 miles per hour. This initial line that's oh so dangerous, and moving off toward the east. Getting some more reports of some damage there in Greenwood. Getting some back from the newsroom in here. We need to watch this closely. The Greenwood area, Hodges, parts of Kirksey, Troy. Those wind speeds were over 70 miles per hour, and we need to watch this closely. closely, because unfortunately winds that strong will cause damage, and we need to look at that closely here, as these areas are under the gun for some of the same winds that were back toward Greenwood and Hodges. Needing to watch that closely here, because those wind speeds as depicted by live Super Doppler 4 were oh so strong there. And as we look at velocity right now, that line is still kinked. It's like an S almost. You can see it right here. Anytime it kind of does that shape, we're seeing that punch right there where the wind is accelerating so fast, so quickly, that you get that spin up of a possible tornado. Regardless of whether it's a tornado or straight line winds, Griffin, that can be dangerous. And you clocked some of those winds from the airport. Saw that report there where it was over 70 miles per hour. And as you know, winds that strong can cause damage. And anytime it's over 60 miles per hour, even depending on conditions, you can get that damage. And that's what we had there in Greenwood County.
Yeah, I think anytime the winds get above 60 miles per hour, it's safe to treat it as if it is a tornado. And you need to, anytime it gets that intense, you really need to take it seriously. Anything above 58 miles per hour is normally what triggers a severe thunderstorm warning. We were way above that threshold. We have official wind gust measurements from the Greenwood County Airport, 75 miles per hour. That's how strong this storm was when it came initially blasting through Greenwood and the Coronacre area. Thankfully now we're on the backside of it, and the line of storms themselves is quickly exiting Greenwood County and exiting Lawrence County. As Chris mentioned, we've got some reports of some damage in the Hodges area, as well as some reports of hail up near Joanna. But at least for the moment, we just have to wait just a couple more minutes before the worst of the weather exits our area and moves into Newberry County and down towards Saluda County. Putting another loop on live Super Doppler 4 for you, you can see just how fast this line really picked up steam as it moved into parts of Greenwood County and eventually now moving into Newberry County, but also parts of Lawrence County saw some pretty intense winds as well, especially near Joanna and Clinton. Had some very intense straight line winds in that part of our area. Kind of doing a quick reset for you. We zoomed the picture out a little bit more. The rest of the area further back to the west, we're doing okay now. The worst of the weather is starting to exit the area, move over into parts of Chester and York counties, east of Gaffney and east of Union. But further back to the west in Greenville and Spartanburg and Cherokee counties, where you still have some rain and we still have some lightning strikes here and there. Still probably a good idea to stay inside a little bit longer. But back towards Oconee County, back towards Pickens County, the rain is starting to let up a little bit, so we like to see that. But again, we got to stick with this storm just a bit longer. This tornado warning continues for parts of Lawrence County and parts of Greenwood County for just a few more minutes here. So we'll keep a close eye on it as this finally exits into Newberry County. Chris?
Yeah, Greenwood County just got that report near Hodges and Greenwood. Unfortunately, we're getting some reports there of some damage. Watching it closely, we're in contact with the fire departments down there. Really a volatile situation as we saw those winds really ramp up there. And I want to tell you, those same winds are over the southern end of Lake Greenwood. Needing to watch that very closely. I-26 toward Newberry County. This is almost out of our area. We're watching it very closely for you. The threat is still on there for eastern Greenwood County, downtown Greenwood, Lawrence. You're in a safe place. You're watching us right now saying tornado warning in Spartanburg or Greenwood. You're not under a warning. You're watching us right now. In fact, your severe threat is over. The tornado watch that's over our area will be expired, no problem, within the next little bit. As this leading edge is gone from our area, those warnings and watches will be trimmed back, and we'll just see some lingering rain showers. But the concern right now lies across these areas and southern Greenwood County, southern Lawrence counties. We put the velocity mode back on here. We're able to see a couple different things, getting reports here. The newsroom checking in with other entities there in Greenwood County. If you have damage in Greenwood, you need to let us know, as you can do safely there. Here we are at Chapels, Joanna. This line really punching through very quickly right here. Some heavy rain wrapped in this as it moves toward Newberry County. The worst of the circulation is in Newberry. Watching it closely, Lake Greenwood, you're still in on some of this very strong wind. Kirksey northbound through Joanna. I-26 really rocking and rolling right now with some strong winds. Big picture right now, there is no other severe concerns across Greenville County. Live Super Doppler 4 watching us calculating the wind speeds across the area. You do have rain. You're probably hearing some thunder, seeing the flash of some lightning in Greenville still and in Spartanburg, but there is no severe concern remaining for these areas. It's the leading edge of this line that is concerning. A severe thunderstorm warning for Union southbound. Some trees reported down in Greenwood County. We had gusts reported back to us over 70 miles per hour. Coronacre 75 miles per hour. Dangerous, dangerous winds in here near the southern end of Lake Greenwood there. And look at all that lightning. This remains the only dangerous part of the storm across our area other than some lightning. You want to stay indoors, let this pass through. But as far as tornado or winds are concerned, it sits over southern Greenwood County right there. And the good news here, we're getting word from the National Weather Service that they are dropping the tornado watch for western zones of this area. So the only remaining tornado watch is where the active tornado warning is, and that's Greenwood, Lawrence, and Union County. No problems with this expiring shortly thereafter. And in fact, our attention will turn from severe weather to wintry weather, where winter storm warnings are in effect, winter weather advisories for lower elevations of the mountains, where a couple of inches of snow are going to fall later tonight and through the early parts of tomorrow. But watching this closely, getting word here, National Weather Service dropping that watch, and watching this closely here as this warning that's over Greenwood and Lawrence County very quickly coming to an end. Thankfully, we've seen the winds get so high there. Need to watch that closely over Chapels, Kirksey, Troy, surrounding areas. That wind has been so strong, and the lightning here associated with it as well. It's just coming down sideways in these areas. Needing to watch that in southern Union County as well. There's the I-26 corridor. If you have family or friends that may be traveling back home from work in Columbia, it's best just to let this storm pass. Pull over, get to a sturdy structure, a sturdy building. You do not want to be traveling into this line because it has had a history of producing winds well over 70 miles per hour, and that unfortunately has caused some damage in some locations from Kirksey to Chapels. Watching it closely. Getting good news here from the National Weather Service. They are going to expire this tornado warning for Lawrence and Greenwood County in any minute now. And the good news with this is this would be the end of our severe threat. So pulling out live Super Doppler 4, our working Doppler radar, giving us minute by minute data where we've been able to see these storms instantly with no delay. As this scans our area, we see that data immediately. And that's the good news, is it's been able to give us those wind speeds town by town and minute by minute as it rolls on through. So Spartanburg, Cherokee, Greenville, Lawrence County, Greenwood County, Abbeville County, becoming in the clear here. This tornado warning that's active over Greenwood and Lawrence County, it is set to expire any second now. We need to watch this area of Lawrence County, Greenwood County closely. In fact, Griffin, if we can, let's zoom into Greenwood County and pull up our debris signature to kind of see if we've had some debris lofted. That's part of our Doppler radar network that we can see. And putting it on a loop here, the past 30 minutes, we saw this cell move through Greenwood with quite the punch here. Nothing that really kind of jumps out to me, Griffin. I don't really see anything either. Anything to you?
No, it's a little bit noisy to tell. A little hard to tell exactly if we had any big debris lofted. No question that the winds were strong enough to cause damage in the Greenwood and Coronacre area. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get more reports that come in of trees or power lines down. Hoping everybody's okay, and hopefully we got the word out in time that these storms, wow, they really packed a punch down there.
No doubt about it, Griffin. I mean, 70, 75 mile per hour winds, that would bring down trees, that would bring down power lines. So if you can safely do so, please let us know what's happening in your town there in Greenwood County. But yeah, no clear signs of debris being lofted. That could be because it was such a quick hit of some wind that it was there and it's kind of knocked stuff down. As we look at Kirksey and Troy, this tornado warning will expire momentarily. And the good news here is the rest of us are going to be seeing things calm down dramatically. We will see much better conditions move on through, getting now word of several thousand power outages behind this line. It has packed a punch up and down the upstate with power lines down, trees knocking those power lines down and causing some power outages in the tune of a couple of thousand across the area. So watching this closely here from Lawrence to Kirksey, you remain under that tornado watch, and momentarily you'll see this tornado warning expire in Greenwood and in Lawrence County as we watch the I-26 corridor southbound. And where we could see some damage or have seen some damage previously is in this area of Greenwood County, Kirksey, parts of Coronacre, those winds reported to us up over 70 miles per hour. We have remaining severe thunderstorm warnings for Union County, stretching toward the south into Lawrence and Greenwood County, and this system has meant business as it passed through the area. Look at the rain, heavy at times through Greenville and Spartanburg. You're watching us right now. You're seeing the crawl at the top of your screen reflecting a tornado warning. There are no concerns for Greenville or Spartanburg, but we need to watch it closely here in the southern and eastern parts of Greenwood and Lawrence County. Thankfully, that threat's coming to a close very quickly, and we'll be able to kind of sound the all clear as far as severe concerns for the night, because things are wrapping up. We've lost the daytime heat from the sunshine. Colder air is punching in as we speak, and that's allowed us to see things stabilize dramatically to where it's changed over just to some good old-fashioned rain. But a tornado warning remains in effect for a couple more minutes over Lawrence and Greenwood County. We've been watching that. We've had reports of wind gusts over 70 miles per hour. Right behind that in Greenwood County, reports of power outages, so we know that it did some damage in those areas. Trees down, power lines down, Hodges, Coronacre, up through uptown Greenwood. Those areas saw those winds accelerate up to 60+ miles per hour. We got a storm report there over uptown Greenwood. Just came in here. We're able to query this and tell you, yeah, 65 knots. That would be 75 miles per hour. Whew, that is a stout wind and can bring damage down very quickly there as we watch this happen on through. But as we look at other storm reports across the area, other than some hail and some downed trees here and there, we've managed to get through this relatively unscathed, other than that heavy rain that rolled on through the area and allowed us to get in a better situation right now, and colder air is punching in as well. So again, to recap, we had a tornado warning issued at about 6:15 for Greenwood and Lawrence County. That warning is set to expire at the top of the hour at 7 o'clock. Beyond that, our severe threats are over with. We will not have anything concerning going into the overnight hours, but looping it here, Griffin showing you, we've got heavy rain, lots of rumbles of thunder remaining, lots of flashes of lightning in these areas, and if there's damage, it's going to be in these areas of Greenwood County. And if you can safely do so, please let us know what you're seeing. You don't want to go outside in this. Down power lines are oh so dangerous, so if you at all think that that could be the case in your situation, stay at home. Let emergency officials do their thing as they try to pick up the pieces and see what happened here in Lawrence and Greenwood County, because yeah, quick touchdown of a tornado or some strong winds, either way, those gusts got up to some dangerous levels. And now we're talking about rain that's going to quickly change to snow in the mountains, from tornadoes to snow from Asheville northbound, where those gusts could approach 60 miles per hour tomorrow in the higher elevation of the mountains with the snow, and high temperatures will be in the mid-30s. So certainly a much different situation as we map out 24 hours difference. That's what weather in the Carolinas and Georgia will do for you. But yeah, about 3 more minutes of this tornado warning over Greenwood and Lawrence County. Seeing that quickly push off toward the east, heading toward the I-77 corridor. So again, if you're travelers or if you have family that are going toward the south or maybe coming up from Columbia, you want to urge them just to stay put, not travel in this, because this has a history of producing damage, down trees. You do not want to be driving in it with trees being down. And of course, the blinding rain. I mean, this is some torrential rain. We heard it outside of our studios here when it moved through Greenville, just torrential as it rolled on through. And now the good news here is this is moving out of Greenwood County. This is moving out of Lawrence County into Newberry County, and it looks like the tornadic side of this storm is coming to a close as well. Just a few more minutes of this warning here in Lawrence County, Greenwood County. And to recap, this all started about 2 p.m. today. We had a confirmed tornado in Alabama that moved some 50 to 60 miles on the ground. Did not lift. If it did, it lifted for a moment or two, but continued to do damage town after town. Just a devastating situation back that way as it crossed into parts of Georgia. And where we currently sit, the leading edge of this line is now pushing out of our area, and that leaves us with the all clear. We're able to kind of sound the all clear alert here beyond 7 o'clock. No more severe weather. You don't want to be out traveling in this because there are trees down, there are power lines down. You don't want to be out in this, but the worst of this is over. And then maybe some wraparound rain, some wraparound snow coming into the mountains, in fact, tonight, as those temperatures continue to plummet down. As we look at live Super Doppler 4 closer into home right here, continuing to get this action over Lawrence and Greenwood County. That's the remaining warning across the area, and our commitment to you is to stay with it in case there is the possibility that it spins back up. But what I can tell you here is what I'm seeing on our very own live Super Doppler 4, conditions are getting much better in Lawrence and Greenwood County after being so volatile just 20 or 30 minutes ago. where those winds got over 70 to 75 miles per hour. And that's where we sit in Greenville and Spartanburg and in Lawrence County, as we've got downed trees. We had 2 warnings today, one over Clinton and Joanna, then a second one originated back toward Abbeville County, some pretty stout rotation that moved on through the county right there. And that's where we sit right there, as there has been reports of downed trees in Coronacre and Hodges and Greenwood, stretching up through Joanna and Clinton, and multiple power outages behind this. And live Super Doppler 4 mapping out the rest of it as it moves on out of our area, and we're able to see the worst of this kind of move on through with just heavy rainfall remaining. Those rumbles of thunder can get you a little bit concerned as we see this roll on through the area there. Watching it closely, Spartanburg County, a couple more minutes of this warning here across Lawrence and Greenwood County as it rolls on through the area. Hasn't dropped yet, but here momentarily we will see it drop from our system, and the tornado concerns will be over with for the area, which is certainly some good news for us. In Union County, just some rain. Lawrence County, some rain, but Greenwood, just some lightning. The worst of that cell has pushed out of Greenwood County into Newberry County, so can sound the all clear here in just about 60 seconds. We'll be able to tell you, hey, no tornado warnings and no concerns for tornadoes across the entire area, as it's just rain and rumbles of thunder throughout the overnight hours. Our team working very diligently in communication with emergency officials there in Greenwood County, Lawrence County, to get back those reports. And coming up on WYFF News 4 at 11 o'clock, we will have much more on what has happened across the area today as this wind rolled on through the area. Let's send things over to Nigel with more.
All right, Chris, thank you very much for keeping us safe as that system moved through. For now, we're going to take you back to regular programming.